was studying the word this weekend, this whole month, and how many of you know the story of David and Bathsheba? What happened there? Yeah, David and Bathsheba, and David committed adultery, and because of that act of sin, Bathsheba conceived and she had a baby. Do you all know that? She had a baby, and soon as the baby was born, in a couple of weeks, Prophet Nathan, God says Prophet Nathan to come, and says, God sends Nathan to tell David that I'm disappointed in you. God is disappointed in you. Yeah, you remember that? God is disappointed in you. And so what happens is that, so Prophet Nathan obeys God and goes tells David, God is disappointed in you. And then David realizes his mistake, and he's in a state of brokenness. But God does not stop there. God also strikes the baby. Do you know that? He also strikes the baby. How many of you are following with me? I want you to pay close attention with me. God strikes that baby that was born out of sin, and the baby falls ill. Okay, the baby falls ill. And so I think David loved the baby so much that what happened, as soon as the baby fell ill, he took off his clothes and he put a sackcloth upon himself. He put a sackcloth upon himself and he went down on the ground. Are you following me? He literally fell down on the ground and he started weeping and pleading with God. The Bible says he's pleading with God for his child because he loved the child so much. He pleaded with God so much. And he was there in his pool of tears, crying for 7 days. And the Bible says his attendants forced him to eat, but he wouldn't eat for 7 days because he loved the baby, but God struck the baby and the baby fell ill. And he was in a pathetic state, a broken state. And then on the 7th day, unfortunately, the baby died. Do you know that? The baby died. And the attendants were thinking to themselves, how could I ever tell this to David? What will happen to David? Will he do something desperate when I tell him that his baby died? Yeah? And so what happens? When the attendants were speaking among themselves, David overheard something while he was still on the ground and weeping and pleading with God. And then he goes to his attendants and asks them, what happened to my baby? And they said, your baby died. Your baby died. At this point, you would imagine David to do something desperate. I don't know. But you know what the Bible says? He strengthened himself in the Lord. He picked up himself from that pool of tears. He washed himself. He went and changed his clothes. He put on his best lotions and perfumes. And then he went in the house of the Lord to worship. You get what I'm saying? It is such a contrast. It blew me away. He picked himself up from that pool of tears and that mess he was in, and he went and washed himself first for 7 days. Don't think so. He had washed himself, and then next thing he does, he goes and changes from that sackcloth into his beautiful clothes, kingly clothes, and then he put on his lotions and his perfumes, and then he comes into the presence and says, God, you are worthy, God. Irrespective of what happens in my life, you are worthy, God. You are worthy, God. The fact that his baby died did not diminish the fact that his God was still worthy and seated on the throne. He realized that his circumstances did not dictate the worthiness of his God. That's why he put on his best. He was his best, and then he went in the house of the Lord and says, I bow low before you, God. I will bless the Lord at all times. Your praise will continually be on my lips, Father. Even though this has happened, God, I will still choose to praise you, for you are worthy, God. For you are worthy, Father. For you are worthy, God. I don't know what mess you are in right now. Whether you're going through heartbreak, whether you face the death of a loved one, whether your relationship is in shambles, whether your marriage is on the rocks. I don't know whether you're dealing with financials, whether you're facing difficulties to make ends meet. I plead you to strengthen yourself in the Lord this morning, to pick up yourself, wash yourself, put on your best dress, and come into His courts and say, God, forever you are worthy, God, for you are worthy, my Father. Whatever heartbreak I go through, God, it's nothing compared to the worthiness that you are, oh God. I will ever forever, God, forever bow down before you and worship your splendor and your majesty, God. For you are worthy, Jesus. Nothing compares, oh God, nothing compares. My heartbeat is only secondary, God. Nothing compares to you, Father. Nothing compares. Come on, whatever that is in your life that is breaking your heart right now, commit yourself, Lord. Lord, please give us the strength to pick up ourselves right now, oh God. Wash ourselves and come before you, God, and say, God, that you are worthy. You are always worthy, oh God, forever and a day. My circumstances do not dictate, oh God, how worthy you are. You are worthy. Come on, let's spend some time and say, God, you are worthy. You are worthy. Join me along. You're worthy.